Welcome to my channel. World Scene News. Subscribe to my channel for news updates all around the world. On November 25, 2025, the city of Bishkek was transformed into a stage of anticipation and excitement. From the early hours, the streets were alive with energy, as residents and visitors alike gathered to witness a momentous occasion. The air was thick with expectation, and every corner of the city seemed to pulse with the knowledge that something historic was about to unfold. Russian President Vladimir Putin's arrival ahead of the CSTO summit was not just a diplomatic visit, it was an event that captured the attention of the entire region. The arrival of his presidential plane was watched by thousands, both on the ground and through live broadcasts, as the world's eyes turned to Kyrgyzstan. The spectacle began as Putin's Ilyush Shin Il-96 touched down on the tarmac, greeted by a meticulously arranged honor guard. Kyrgyz President Sadir Japarov was there in person, offering a warm and highly symbolic welcome. The scene was rich with ceremony, underscoring the significance of the visit for both nations. The ceremonial greeting, complete with the stirring sounds of national anthems and the proud display of soldiers in full regalia, was a powerful reminder of the close historical and political ties between Russia and Kyrgyzstan. Flags of both countries fluttered side by side, signaling a partnership that extends beyond mere protocol. This event was more than a diplomatic formality. It was a carefully orchestrated statement of Russia's enduring influence in Central Asia. Delegates from across the region gathered, aware that the outcomes of this summit could shape the future of Eurasian security and cooperation. Security was at its highest, with police and military personnel stationed throughout the city. Streets were lined with curious onlookers and a sea of media representatives, all eager to capture every moment. For a day, Bishkek became the focal point of international attention, its role in global affairs magnified. The handshake between Putin and Japarov was more than a gesture. It was a symbol of unity and mutual respect, set against a backdrop of global uncertainty and shifting alliances. Their meeting sent a clear message about the strength of their partnership. As the presidential motorcade sped through Bishkek's bustling streets, escorted by a formidable police presence, it was clear that this was just the beginning. The city, now at the heart of Eurasian diplomacy, was hosting a summit whose outcomes could reverberate far beyond its borders, setting the stage for new developments in the region. The CSTO summit convened in Bishkek with a notable mix of presence and absence. President Japarov hosted, joined by Russia's Putin, Belarus's Lukashenko, Tajikistan's Ramon, and Kazakhstan's Tokayev, each representing key regional interests. Outgoing Secretary General Imangali Tasmagambatov delivered his final report, ensuring continuity as the alliance faced new challenges. Yet one seat was empty. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan boycotted, making a pointed statement about internal rifts. His absence was a stark reminder of the alliance's unresolved tensions. The summit pressed on, but the empty chair underscored the fragility of CSTO solidarity. The leaders' unity was tested, and the world watched to see if the alliance could hold together. The question lingered: could the CSTO overcome its internal fractures? The Collective Security Treaty Organization, or CSTO, was established in 2002 as a direct response to the shifting security landscape in Eurasia after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Often described as Eurasia's answer to NATO, the CSTO is a military and political alliance that brings together 6 post-Soviet states, aiming to ensure regional stability and collective defense in a rapidly changing world. The alliance is made up of Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. Each member has its own strategic interests and security challenges, but they are united by a shared history and a commitment to mutual support. At the heart of the CSTO is Article 4, its core principle, which promises mutual defense. This means that if any member state is attacked, the others are obligated to come to its aid. An attack on one is considered an attack on all, echoing the collective defense doctrine of other major alliances. While Russia is undoubtedly the powerhouse and main driving force behind the CSTO, each member brings its own unique security concerns to the table. Many of these concerns revolve around volatile borders, terrorism, and regional instability, especially in Central Asia, where threats can quickly spill across frontiers. The credibility of the alliance, however, is often questioned. Its effectiveness depends on the willingness of members to act decisively when crises arise. This has been a point of contention, as the CSTO has sometimes intervened selectively, leading to debates about its true commitment to collective security. The rapid deployment of CSTO troops to Kazakhstan in 2022 and Chalin Tamantsiu in 2022, Biporis Adam and Skamin II, demonstrated the alliance's potential to act swiftly and decisively when called upon. However, its lack of intervention during Armenia's recent crises exposed significant limitations and raised questions about the consistency of its commitments. The Bishkek summit became a crucial opportunity for leaders to confront these contradictions head-on. It was a moment to reflect on the alliance's achievements and failures, and to reaffirm or redefine its purpose in a world where security threats are constantly evolving. With global tensions on the rise and new conflicts emerging, the CSTO's relevance, unity, and ability to adapt were all being put to the test. The world was watching to see if the alliance could remain a meaningful force for stability in Eurasia. As the summit concluded, the leaders faced a pivotal test. Could they restore trust among members, address the alliance's weaknesses, and chart a credible path forward for the CSTO in an increasingly uncertain world? Armenia's boycott of the summit was a dramatic signal of discontent within the CSTO. Frustrated by the alliance's lack of support during border clashes with Azerbaijan, Armenia questioned the value of CSTO membership. The empty chair was a symbol of broken trust and a challenge to the alliance's promise of collective defense. Moscow and other members faced tough questions about whether the CSTO truly serves all its members equally. Despite the boycott, Armenia stopped short of a full withdrawal, keeping diplomatic channels open. The message was clear: unless the CSTO addresses its credibility gap, its future as a unified bloc is uncertain. The summit's proceedings were haunted by this unresolved crisis. With Armenia absent, the remaining leaders focused on urgent security issues, chief among them, instability spilling from Afghanistan. They agreed to strengthen joint military capabilities through new training exercises and a comprehensive action plan for 2026-2030. Combating drug trafficking was another priority, with a new anti-drug strategy adopted to target narcotics routes from Afghanistan. 16 documents were signed, covering military cooperation, information strategy, and technological collaboration. The summit's agenda reflected a push to modernize the alliance and address 21st-century threats. Leaders aimed to project unity and resilience, even as internal divisions lingered. The CSTO's ability to adapt and cooperate was put to the test. The outcome, a blueprint for action, but questions about cohesion remained. A key moment was the appointment of Talibek Masadikov of Kyrgyzstan as the new CSTO Secretary General. He succeeded Imangali Tasmagambetov, whose term saw both operational successes and deepening internal rifts. Masadikov, a seasoned diplomat, brings experience and continuity at a critical juncture. His immediate challenge: implement the summit's ambitious agenda and rebuild trust, especially with Armenia. The leadership transition signaled renewal, but also underscored the need for unity. With Russia set to chair next, the CSTO entered a new chapter, one demanding effective diplomacy and decisive action. As the summit closed, Russia prepared to take over the CSTO chairmanship in 2026. President Putin outlined an ambitious vision: modernize military capabilities, intensify joint exercises, and launch a new counterterrorism strategy. The chosen motto, collective security in a multipolar world, reflected Russia's push for a stronger, more independent alliance. Putin called for deeper technological and defense-industrial cooperation, and proposed an international forum on Eurasian security. The agenda aimed to re-energize the CSTO and assert its relevance amid global competition. The emphasis was on unity and shared responsibility, with a clear nod to the Armenian crisis. Russia's leadership promised a proactive, hands-on approach. The world would soon see if the CSTO could deliver on this bold vision. The summit produced 16 official documents, signaling determination to move forward despite tensions. The Collective Security Council Declaration reaffirmed commitment to mutual defense and outlined key threats. New strategies targeted drug trafficking and set a roadmap for military cooperation through 2030. Leaders also agreed to improve the CSTO's public image and internal efficiency. The focus was on practical steps, joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and modernized equipment. These pledges formed a comprehensive blueprint for the alliance's next phase. The challenge turned words into action and restore faith in collective security. The 20,000 Boskinsenand, the 2025, Bostonsan, the Bishkek summit marked a pivotal moment for the CSTO, demonstrating both the alliance's enduring resilience and the deep internal strains that threaten its cohesion. Over the course of several days, leaders and diplomats from across the region gathered in Kyrgyzstan's capital, seeking to chart a new course for the organization. 16 agreements were signed, covering security cooperation, joint exercises, and economic collaboration. The appointment of a new Secretary General was meant to project stability and continuity for the alliance, but Armenia's high-profile boycott sent shockwaves through the summit, exposing the alliance's most significant crisis to date and raising questions about its future. Despite these tensions, the summit laid the groundwork for a year of heightened activity under Russia's chairmanship, with ambitious plans for expanded military drills, diplomatic outreach, and renewed efforts to address member states' concerns. Ta'alatbek Masadikov, the newly appointed Secretary General, now faces the immediate and daunting task of turning political promises into tangible progress, and, perhaps most critically, finding a way to bridge the widening gap with Armenia and restore its trust in the alliance. Looking ahead, the next CSTO summit is scheduled for Moscow in November 2026, a gathering that is already being described as a crucial test for the alliance's unity and relevance. The world will be watching closely to see whether all 6 member states, including Armenia, will return to the negotiating table and reaffirm their commitment to collective security. The stakes are high, and the outcome will shape not only the CSTO's future, but also the broader security landscape of the region. The CSTO's ability to adapt, reform, and rebuild trust among its members will determine whether it can remain a relevant force in a rapidly changing world. As leaders work to overcome divisions and strengthen cooperation, the alliance stands at a crossroads, facing both significant challenges and new opportunities. The road to Moscow will ultimately determine whether the CSTO can endure and thrive in an era of uncertainty and transformation.